Okay, so let's try to bring this thing over. Oh, that is definitely in line of the. There we go. Okay. Okay, so testing this out again. So wider. That is definitely in. So I can't do the 12. 20 is too much. Do I have a 17? Hmm. And that looks super ugly back there. If there is somebody watching, that would be great if you said hello. I gotta deal with that back. What's going on back there? Looks like there's somebody joining me. Oh, what am I testing? Brian, thank you for being here. What am I testing? I'm looking at um so I just got a new desk. That meant get everything off the old desk, which is right there, and loading up this desk. But then, as long as I'm loading this up, let's try to do it right, and get the teleprompter going. But it looks like the teleprompter, which I use for more recorded videos that I post to my channel, um, the teleprompter I'm using a little bit different one than I usually use, and it's got a cloth that's now blocking. Where is it? It's blocking. You can see it right there. But my hand is getting cut off, top corner, and it looks like it's getting cut off a little bit at the top. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. What else am I testing? Oh, I mean, then of course, I've got everything's in a new spot. Everything's in a new spot. So I'm trying to figure out what's working, what's not working, and some new stuff in here that I'm testing out, plus using all the old stuff that I've had for, well, not old, but older stuff that I've had for a long time. And yeah, so I'm making sure the audio sounds okay. I think it sounds pretty good. Um, so yeah, those are the kind of things I'm testing. More for myself. There's whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, I guess you could do this easy and not worry about too much technology, but that's not in my nature. So I've got way too many things that are controlling everything. I've got um, this is actually being streamed from. Oh, thanks. Audio sounds good. Great. Everything's being streamed from the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. Did I need to get the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO? Of course not. But I do like having it. mostly for the ISO function, for the being able to record all 8 cameras. If I ever have 8 cameras hooked up, it'll be able to record all of them plus all the audio separately on separate channels. That's awesome. Audio is being done through a Universal Audio Apollo Twin Quad X. Did I need to buy a $1,500 audio interface? Of course not. I could have probably done it with I've got a $100 one or a $50 one here that works just fine. I've got a nice one of these newer Elgato low profile mic arms. Did I need to get that versus the one I've had from Heil for 10 years? No, but I did. And of course, this is going through an Octava MK12 mic. Pretty unusual microphone. Did I need that? No. But getting all these things working together. Oh, of course, there's the Stream Deck, there's the MacBook Pro, there's the iMac, and a whole lot of blinking lights. And I keep meaning to set up the Raspberry Pi to work as a HyperDeck clone. It's using, I think, PlayOutB is the name of the software. And of course, I want to get, play music in the background because that's fun. And yeah, just too many, making sure all the things are working together. It looks like they are. So thank you for letting me know that the audio sounds good. Yeah, just trying to sit here and get my head around what I should be pressing. There's too many, I don't know, there's probably, if you don't count keyboards, there are probably 30, 40, 50, 100, 120 buttons I can press at any given time. So what do I press? And of course, I've got all sorts of things coming in from Amazon, whether they're, what is this, USB-C to HDMI cable, which I thought I needed, and then I found the cable that does it, so that's going back. And then there's the display port to HDMI cable, which I thought I needed, but then I found the cable that does that, and I can send that back. And then there's what are these? These are some Thunderbolt 3 cables that are 10 foot long, I think. Oh, 6 foot long. What's this? This is a HDMI cable, 2-pack of HDMI cable, 10 foot long, which I thought I needed. We need more angle series. Yeah, you do. How can we do that? I need another camera, I think. But I'd love to be able to... I do have a GoPro somewhere. And of course, I've got some audio panels coming in from GIC Acoustics. So those will go up on the ceiling as well as behind the desk and on the side. Some artwork going on the back, some shelves going in the back. Got shades ordered for the windows, but getting the shades that are all controlled by the same Lutron system for the rest of the house. It's taking, they got ordered about a month ago. I'm told they might be here in another month. And what else is coming? The big thing was the desk. The desk took about a month and a half from a little place in Holland, Michigan called Desk House, it's a gorgeous desk. It is gorgeous. Solid walnut, 2 inches thick. It's beautiful. Well, I mean, the rest of the desk is 4 feet tall, but it's incredible, and it doesn't shake anywhere near as much as my old desk. It shakes a little bit just because I've got a lot of stuff that is kind of precarious at the moment. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm testing. Actually, what I was going to do now was play around with the Stream Deck. No, the Stream Deck. Am I actually? Yeah, I'm streaming. Interesting, because my Stream Deck is now saying I'm stuck at 10 seconds in. How do you like your teleprompter? Yeah, so teleprompters are great. I love teleprompters in general. Now, there's two parts of teleprompters. There's the software that runs on your phone or on your iPad or other tablet, and pretty much all of them are kind of garbage. It's weird to think that they've had so long to come up with good teleprompter apps, and they all are terrible. The Prompt Smart Plus, I think, is one of the little kind of better ones, but even that, I mean, their main claim to fame is the auto listening to what you're saying and then automatically scrolling based on where you are. Except I'd say it's wrong 90% of the time, so it's super frustrating to use. It's great when it does, when it does work, and it's terrible when it doesn't. And then all the other apps, they're awful. There's plenty of free ones, and they're all garbage. But then there's bits of hardware, and so you could get something like this, which is the Parrot teleprompter. It's kind of this triangular thing that sits on front of your lens, and is actually mounted to the lens, it's like a filter attachment on your lens. And that's great, except every time you want to use it, you have to pull this thing down, which, unless you're supporting the side of it, you're yanking down on the front element of your lens. So that's not great. I wish the springs were a little bit less springy. And then there's I think I've got the Glide something 100, which is a little bit bigger one, also for a iPhone or iPad mini size device. And that's good, but it's the same problem of having to pull things to get everything lined up to put the iPad phone or whatever into it. And then there's the one I'm using right now, which is from a company called One Take Only. I don't know if they still exist. I've had this thing for a long time. I mean, ever since the iPads were 9-inch, the 9-inch size versus the 10-inch that they are now, because it actually fits the 9-inch iPad. And this is great. This is probably the best of them. It's probably about $300, $400 when I bought it 10 years ago. And it's still, I think, generally the best, though it is also the bulkiest and the most. I mean, it's a big piece of equipment. It mounts on 15 millimeter rails, and so you've got to have all the rail attachment for your camera and all of that stuff. And so that's a bit of a pain. That said, I'm really tempted, and I'm probably going to break down and get a more professional ICANN teleprompter, with the monitor built in, made to be a really great teleprompter. Just because the apps are so garbage on every app is garbage, and by switching over to something like that, where it's just basically a second monitor for your PC or Mac, you're moving up to better apps and apps that are applications that are meant for professional teleprompter use. So, but that's another $1,500. Do I need to spend $1,500 on a teleprompter? Probably not. Let's put out some videos again. Let's get back into a cadence where I'm putting out some videos every week before I can justify that kind of spend. So yeah, those are some of the things I'm thinking about. And just one of the other big things I'm doing right now is just feeling out, I've got 72 inches of space on this desk, and what do I put? Where do I put where do I put things? And I've already completely moved everything around once or twice. And now I have this empty space right here, just over here. So I need to do something there. Let's see. I'll try taking a photo. Try not to step on the dog. And then why am I looking at that? Right. How do I get... There we go. So that's what I am. That's where I'm sitting. I think that's come up. Yeah, it looks like it's about... You're going to see this anytime soon. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. But it's far less junk on it than has been in the past. Right, some of it is just for all the mounting I'm trying to do. So over on the left side, that's a lot of screws and instructions on how things are supposed to be attached. Yeah. So yeah, those are the things I'm thinking about, or doing, or trying, or you can see I've got a couple of mics attached here. There's my old Heil PR40 that I used for a long time for mostly for audio, recorded videos where I wasn't on camera. So it sounds beautiful, but I tend to use this Octava MK12 because it's kind of not quite a shotgun, but it's very similar to a shotgun mic, and I can keep it out of view. If you look at me here, I am dark. Let's adjust that. My phone. Looks productive. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Bring up that light a bit. Okay, that's looks a little bit better, although definitely a lot of light coming in through my glasses. Yeah, there's always something. Looks productive. Yes, that is the justification I give to my wife. Looks productive. Let's close all this up. I do not like this music. Yeah, some of this. So I love what Harris Heller is doing with these tracks that are available for free. He's just earning money off of each play on Spotify. But some of it is really garbage. Let's see if that's any better. Yeah. Yeah, she's mostly. I mean, she's okay with the lights and the cameras, and I mean, she married in. She we met. I was already doing video stuff when we met, so she's generally okay with that. And some of this equipment is predates her, but she has on as a kind of consulting architect. She's often on video calls, and so she will do her calls in here because even with the horrible background, it looks so much nicer with these lights and with the audio. It just sounds great, and she comes across, even more professional because of how it looks and how it feels on these calls. So she's generally okay with it. But that said, I'm not spending $1,700 on a teleprompter because of the optics of that. It's like even if it makes total sense. At the company I work at, we were considering using a private jet service to fly back and forth between Boston and New York because we were doing it a lot. There were a few of us that were every week we're going back and forth between Boston and New York. So we're looking at private jet services because it would be cheaper than using commercial airlines as long as you're flying the right amount, not too much, not too little. But the optics of buying into this private jet, we thought that the board would not approve, so we didn't do it. Although I think it would have been fun. Although it flew into Westchester in New York, so that would have been super inconvenient. How do I get this to go away? So where do I work? I don't work here, but I speak at reInvent. AWS has a big conference every year called reInvent, and I speak at that every year. But I actually work for another company, which I think is actually the company name isn't. I don't know if it's on here. I guess not. Well, the company I work for is called Datadog. We're a monitoring software as a service kind of monitoring solution for monitoring all your infrastructure, and I do security monitoring as well, and APM and traces and all sorts of stuff, log aggregation. And my role there is that I'm a evangelist at the company, and I've been there for about 7 years. We've grown a whole lot in 7 years, and went public a couple years ago, and it's been a magic place to work. We were looking at that private thing. That would have been like year 2 that I was there, so a long time ago, long before we went public. We couldn't afford that kind. We could afford it, but I don't think it would be a. I don't think we. I think it would. Being able to do something like that would have been more likely long ago, or maybe long in the future. We'd be able to do that, but I think we're at the wrong point now. Cool, Datadog, excellent. Yeah, so that's where I work. They've been very good to me. Except it's Datadog without the capital D in the middle. The dog part is not capitalized, even though our GitHub repo, our GitHub organization has a capital D. We That's the example people always bring up. It's on GitHub, it's Datadog with a capital D for dog, but we're not that. We're not that. Now, I think there is a company that is like that, based in Ireland or somewhere else in Europe. There's a few Datadog companies. It's interesting that there's multiple companies that are called Datadog. We're the only monitoring company, though, that's called Datadog. Okay, looks like my connection is excellent. What do you do, Brian? Since we're on this one-on-one kind of conversation. Right now, I'm looking for that Raspberry Pi. Software engineer at Zillow. Excellent. Do we actually know each other? Like, in person? How am I going to power this guy? So I had, 2 weeks ago. Excellent. Creating YouTube videos. Oh, that's awesome. What? That's fantastic. So what's your channel? I'd love to check it out. What, have you been? Only if I YouTube. Okay. So doing full-time YouTube videos and coming up with the next thing. That's awesome. Thinking of Zillow, I used to work for a company that called Playster that did real estate websites. And for a while, I don't know if they still are. For a while, they were the real estate sections for all the Hearst newspapers and all the what other newspapers? Zagat, is it? No. Anyway, a bunch of big newspaper groups use Playster. Again, I don't know if they still are, but they were for a long time. Yeah, I keep getting close to thinking about the next thing, and do I want to do YouTube or whatever full time? It's interesting. I can't actually click. I'm trying to click on the streaming tools. I'm trying to click and I can't. I can't click on you. I click on the message, add moderator, hide user. No. to. I'm trying to click on your logo. That's weird. Maybe I have to go to the full YouTube page. Where are you physically based, Brian? Okay, now if I click here, no, see, I'm clicking. I'm on the full YouTube page, and I'm clicking on you. I cannot bring you up. San Francisco, nice. Okay, let me zoom in. You look like a pretty distinctive Brian Johnson, so maybe I can search for Brian Johnson on YouTube. Not you, but YouTube, Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson TV. Nope, that does not seem like you. Unless you are getting tours by Lars Ulrich of Metallica. Unless that is you, in which case it's pretty interesting. 10 unforgettable Brian Johnson ACDC moments. So again, that's probably not you. No, unless it is. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I got your LinkedIn. Okay. Open to possibilities. Nice. I got your Twitter. Oh, that you got a YouTube video there. Okay. Oh, pause. Okay, YouTube. Yeah. Okay. How do you have 44? That okay. Nice. So you got the moon lander. Awesome. Yeah, it's. I think YouTube doesn't like sharing links to. Anyway, cool. I'm going to check out now that I see your channel. You've just got one more subscriber, and oh no, doing the new keyboard layout 2 days ago. Hopefully, you haven't done anything stupid like me and chosen Workman Dead. Okay, cool, Mac, probably. Interesting. You've got that the thing that's between. Of course, I'm not showing you what I'm looking at. The thing between your keyboard, between the Moonlander sides, has that thing that I know it. I've seen it. What is it? And what do you think of it? It's thinner than I imagined it. I imagined it was a chunkier thing, but 2 years ago. Nice. Loop deck. Yes, you love it, huh? Cool. Yeah, I remember seeing that, thinking, oh, this seems like a cool idea, but do I need another device with the jog wheel? Because I've got another one. I've got another two, two different devices that have that, and I find I never actually use it. Um, and there's two, even though it's got lit up buttons, which I guess are they displays under the buttons? But even with that, there's enough hard coded buttons. I'd love to see a video about it. I think it'd be great. So when people look for you, do they often find the AC/DC Brian Johnson? So I used to live in San Francisco many years ago. Before, I'm now in Bainbridge Island. Before this, I lived in Boston. Before that, Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and before that, I lived in San Francisco, down the marina on what was the name of the road? It was a short road. It was a road that lasted for one block. Um, and there was a place that did Philly sandwiches at the end, which was awful because I kept going and eating lots of Philly sandwiches. And then just around the corner was the Grove, which I don't know if that exists. It's, as I say, it's probably 15 years ago. But yeah, I used to love living in San Francisco, but now I love. Um, yeah, AC/DC Brian is saturated by Brian Johnson game. I've got thankfully the baseball player Matt Williams is not making videos. Um, there used to be another Technovangelist person. I think he called himself the Black Technovangelist. I don't know if that was in comparison to me or what, but there were I don't know of too many other Matt Williamses. At least the baseball player is not on YouTube. So that's we're not intentionally on YouTube. Well, I will definitely check out your channel. I'll watch a few and let you know. Cool. So I was going to see if I can update this Raspberry Pi to be. I'm using PlayoutB on here, but as long as I'm using that PlayoutB, I might see about loading Companion. Okay, does Companion only run on Windows and Mac? Okay. Oh, gotta go see the wife. Okay, cool. Thanks so much for stopping by. I think I'm probably gonna end the stream because I mean, how can I top having Brian Johnson on my stream? Bye. Okay, so. Okay, so BitFocus does run on Linux.
get you up and running with H2R Graphics version 2. I have the application downloaded and installed on my PC here, and I want to open up my project, this graphics project here. I'll open up a few windows to get going with H2R Graphics. First up, I'll open the control window, clicking here, and I can see my rundown. I have all my graphics right here. Let's just move that out of the way for a second, and then take a look back at the launcher again, and I'll open up two more windows. One is the output, so this is where all the graphics will appear, and the other is a preview for that output, and I can test some things, make sure they look okay before I bring them on air. I'll just set that there, move my launcher out of the way, and then rearrange my windows just a little bit. So on the left hand side, I have my control window for the rundown, showing graphics, hiding graphics, and editing graphics. And then on the other side, I have my preview window, and then I have my output. From here over on the rundown, I can click on any of these graphics and they will show up on my output and my preview. I can also click it again to hide it. I can also click on several graphics to show them all at the same time. So when you click on a graphic on the rundown, it shows it on the output and on the preview at the same time. But another way to make sure that you're going live with the right graphic and it's going to appear in the right place is to click on the status icon on the left. You'll see here as I click it on and off that it shows up on my preview window of where it's going to show up whenever I show that graphic. You'll also notice this run button is now highlighted, so I can click on that, and on the output you can see it shows up and runs on air. I can do the opposite of that, click on the status indicator again, click run, and now it goes off air. This is perfect for showing lots of graphics at the same time. So let's say I want to queue up both of these lower thirds and this message all to come on air at the same time. I can click on the status, have them queued, and then click run, and they all show up at the same time. I'll just take those off air again, and then move on to adding my own graphics. So right now you'll notice that the rundown is actually locked, but I can always edit it by clicking on the edit button. Now it goes into edit mode, and I can do a lot more things with it. Some of the things I can do is rearrange the graphics so they show up where I want them to be. I can delete the graphics. I can edit any one of them. For example, this lower third here, I might want to say John Barker here to record instead. And I can say done on that. And now when I show that graphic, you'll see it says John Barker here to record instead. I can add new graphics by clicking on the plus icon at the top here and choosing the type of graphic that I want to add. So for example, I'll add another message graphic, and here you can see it pops up so I can edit the content. Let's just say hello world. And from there, I could choose what it says, but also some of the theming and positioning options. We'll come back to theming later, but for now, let's show the graphic on air, and then open the positioning options, and I can choose where on the screen that graphic should be positioned. So let's do just in the middle. I can also change the scale of the graphic all the way up to 200% or down to 1%, so it's tiny on the screen. Let's make it back to 100%. I can also choose some offset here for X and Y if I really want to decide where that graphic should live. 1. Let's just go for 6XL. I'm out. And then in the 3XL, and I can choose how rounded I want the corners to be, somewhere around medium border to be. And instead of a color, merge the edge in this default is actually out of a project. Edit. I can go into this theme section here, and by default it will use that default project theme. This can be and add a new image, and then I'll just add, I can choose in my images here. I can also position that image wherever I want it on screen. So let's say I'll just pull down the scale, move it off to the side, to the top a little, and I can use that from there. I can have that. Let me know if you have any issues or comments, or you can tell me what went wrong and we'll try to fix it from there. Okay, thanks for watching.